welcome to the Spartan Up podcast with Jaxon and Mac. I'm Kevin, and let's talk a little bit about NBU sports. We finally have sports to talk about. First 2 weeks, we've been, season's upcoming, but now we actually have games happening.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I know that you guys, we just hosted this women's volleyball tournament last week, and I'm sure that's like the big game. We're going to get to talk to Claire later on the podcast about what it meant to take down all ranked teams. I mean, imagine you got 5 nationally ranked teams coming in to the SRC. I mean, it was pretty electric. It's pretty
We got a lot of compliments on it. We'll ask Claire about that too, but specifically, some of the teams that participated were like, this was a top-notch tournament, like top to bottom, which is awesome. We love to see as well. So, yeah, Mac, you might have been the hardest working person in show business the first couple of days there with statting for the first time. Putting yourself to the test for volleyball.
Yes, it was so stressful, but it was honestly so fun, and it, like, helps me understand the game. I felt so bad for the guy who was inputting stats, Tyler Andrews. He
You didn't feel with her.
Yeah, no, I actually did. I felt so bad because he was, like, typing away, but he was also having to watch the game, which was, like, obviously stressful for somebody inputting stats because they have to hit certain keys. But it definitely helped me understand the game more, and I played in, like, middle school, but, like, that is totally different than obviously this college level. So, like, I was like, "Oh,
Speed's just
reception."
a little
Yeah, and, like, there was so many, like, long, what do you call that?
rallies.
Yeah, rally.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna say volley. Is that crazy?
No, it's
Okay.
kind of first part of the words. Yeah. Volleyball.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but I played in middle school, so I don't know much.
No, I mean, that's okay. Like when I did it in like PE, I really thought that you would just rotate 6 people around, and I was like so confused my first time when because I had to call it. First time I ever called a sport was men's volleyball like 5 years ago, and the first set I ever called went 40-38. Like it was insane.
That's insane. That's what I thought one of the games was gonna go to. Which one was that?
Which there was
Was it?
1 year sets kept going back and forth. I can
No, there was one. It was actually the match before. It was St.
Yeah,
Thomas
okay.
and somebody. I forget. But yeah, 31-29 was
Yeah.
the set score of one of them.
Yeah, that one was
Great.
crazy. I kept telling Tyler, I was like, "How much you wanna bet this is going to 40 points? Like, we're not leaving till midnight."
So let's talk. Obviously, a lot of sports going on, but let's talk women's soccer. They are 0-2 on the season, but Dino Merrick, their head coach, obviously here at MBU, kind of does it every year. Like, I don't know, with apologies to Claire, who we're going to talk to here in a second. I don't know that anyone puts together a harder schedule for his team. I mean, they lost 5-0 home opener against University of the Cumberlands. And then turned around over the weekend. They lost 5-0 to number 14 Campbellsville. So their losses on the season are to number 5 and number 14. They haven't scored a goal yet, but Dino has a way of doing that. It's not that the team is that bad. It's just when you're playing top 20 teams off the jump, that's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it last year. He was really strategic in who he picked in that preseason, and he was gonna see all those people come and play this year. Like, he was getting ready. He, like, knew he was coming into the Heart. He knew that, some of the AMC I don't think it's a secret that the Heart is definitely a much tougher conference than the AMC. There's a little more depth. And the Heart, he prepped. He knew that he wasn't gonna be able to waltz in there. So he got so prepared by taking on those teams last year.
Yeah, I was actually really impressed with Hannah Miller. She had a career high of 11 saves against Cumberlands, which that's pretty crazy. 11 saves, I mean, 5 goals. That's over what you want to have saved. So I think that was pretty impressive. Against Campbellsville, Natalie Gunn and Gabby Wood both had a few shots. So at least we know what we're doing on the field, and I'm glad that Dino's able to put that all together this year.
Yeah, I think in back-to-back games, they were outshot like 23-2 or something like that. So, I mean, your keeper is going to get a lot of saves. That's, she might win conference player of the week, honestly, for the number of saves that she was called upon. But their season's going to continue. Actually, they're going to face an AMC opponent on Wednesday. They'll be back here taking on Williams Baptist. So 0-2 for women's soccer. Men's soccer, if we flip the script on that, like I said, they're going to start tomorrow. They're going to be at Ottawa. I know, Jake is pretty excited about what he's got coming back. I mean, we did have a few guys leave. A few of them might be coming back. We don't know. That's kind of up in the air. But he's one of those guys that like he wants to like sneak up on people. So he's kind of playing his team a little close to the vest right now. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out tomorrow against Ottawa.
Yeah, and me and Matt got to see a little bit of what we wanted for the remainder of the season. They were down 2-0 in that first half and was able to rally one in with the PK in their scrimmage against S&T, and then of course, gosh, you got to forgive me, Keegan Bradley
Ranny.
ran. I was close.
You're close.
I was
Good.
close. Keegan. They call him Keys. That's how I always have in my head. And he found the ball off of the deflection from one of the goalies to keep that at a draw. So you're going to see the resilience of this team. It's a young team, and I'm excited to see where they're going to be the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure. I was speaking with Jake, and he actually was saying how tomorrow's game against Ottawa, this is the first time that they're able to play them. So they're actually really excited to have a non-conference matchup, but something that's still competitive and exciting for the team.
Cross country on the women's side, they're going to get started on Friday. Actually, on the men's side too, they're going to run it at SEMO and the Red Hawk Invitational, and we start to see, Claire's shaking her head. SEMO, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But they'll be at down in Cape at SEMO, men's and women's, and it's the post Mia Reed / Mia Duncan era for cross country. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I've talked to Jerry, and you've got most of them outside of that key player. I mean, Adrian Roquette's coming back, always been a staple member of that women's team, and I'm excited to see our men's team really step up. We haven't seen them take the reins when they were in the AMC the last couple seasons, but there's a lot of excitement coming from Coach, and I'm excited to see where they're going to be.
Absolutely, and then we're going to have so much time to talk about football. The only thing I'm going to mention about football is that they wrapped up their fall camp on Friday with a scrimmage. Most of us had better things to do on Friday than go to a scrimmage for pro football, of course. But they did wrap up, and now they're into game prep for. They're going to start.
September 6th.
Yes, that's it, at 7:00.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's our first home opener for football, so that's exciting.
Yeah, against St. Ambrose, so they'll get ready for that. Well, tell you what, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to visit with Claire Ochs, the head coach of women's volleyball here at MBU. Stick with us. Back on the Spartan Up podcast, and we're now joined by women's volleyball head coach Claire Ochs. And Claire, you gotta be feeling pretty good about where your team's at right now, 5-1, and hosting 4 top 20 teams. You guys did all right over the weekend.
I would say so. It was definitely, last year our start was not what we wanted. And I think the girls really took this first weekend seriously, and they knew, what needed to be done, because obviously we had some major teams coming in. So I was really glad that the girls, it's also a long weekend. We played, like 18 sets of volleyball in 3 days. So even that, I think they did a really good job at just making sure that they were staying healthy and doing all the little things. So that was good.
Yeah, and I was gonna bother you and ask you, what kind of preparation did you guys do? Like, the big name of the game is who's gonna be the most prepared. You gotta take advantage of these ranked matches early when everybody, they might be the third ranked team come later in the year, but like you gotta take advantage of the fact that they don't have all the assets that they need.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I learned from last year when we had a tough start was that we needed to focus more on our defense and keeping ourselves in matches, because we know we're gonna score. Like, obviously we got Gabby, she's a big arm. We have other, contributors on the offensive side, but making sure that all the teams in the top 20 are going to be scrappy and they're going to make you play volleyball. So the first practice of the year, it was literally all defense for like the whole day, 2 days. So I think that really helped just kind of create the standard in the practice gym of like getting after it defensively and not let anything fall. And then really from there, we just made sure that everyone knew the offense and knew what our plays were and just started playing 6-on-6 to be prepared. But I think it's easier now in the second year of, like, learning from your past and needing to either make adjustments or this thing worked or, maybe we needed to do something different. So, I think that definitely helped.
Yeah, I mean, I think defense is something that wins games. I mean, I remember when I played lacrosse, we would always say defense is the one that wins games because in lacrosse, you can't end a match 0-0. In soccer, that's a different story, but like in every sport, defense is going to be what wins games. So I think that's really important and pivotal for your success.
Definitely. And everyone's good at defense, everyone's good at serve and pass, so it's like, where can you find those, like I call them, like, cheap points in a way of, like, a lot of these matches are 25-23 or you win by 2, so it's like, how are you gonna find those 2 points at the end of the game? And, defense really keeps you in it and helps you win those matches that are close.
So wins over Corban, number 3, number 9, St. Thomas, and number 16, Viterbo. I was calling him Viterbo, and then their coach,
Bigger.
we're now Viterbo. And he's like, okay, it's Viterbo. I've been saying it wrong for years.
I think I was saying it wrong.
Apologies to them. I'm obviously I don't want to dwell on the negative, but you guys did lose to number 20 Midland. And the reason why I bring that up is the turnaround that you guys made from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4:30 in the afternoon was amazing. I mean, like we walked at, like we were talking, no offense, but after that Midland match, we're like, we're going to get wiped out. Again, like yeah, I was dreading like going out watching this match, and then you guys came out, and it was different. What happened?
I mean, we went to the locker room,
Yeah,
we had a little chat,
just a little.
just a little one.
Yeah,
No, I mean, the girls, like, I was very disappointed because that was probably the worst I've seen them play.
right.
And they know that, and I think they felt the same way. And so, I mean, yeah, it was just a disappointing loss because obviously we should have taken care of business and done better. And Midland played great and they made us look bad, which is, what you want to do as a team. But I also think that we came off of 2 big wins on Wednesday, and I think they got a little comfortable of like, "Oh, this is the 20, it should be easier than the other 2 that we just played in," even though that's obviously not the case. Everyone in the top, 25 is gonna push you and, you know, I always tell them like, I feel like everyone wants to beat Missouri Baptist, like, that goes for a lot of the teams in the top 10 and the top 20, but I think we have a target on our backs usually, so it's like, that's a big win for them, and we just had to have a little mental reset and, like, remind ourselves that all the games are gonna be tough, and especially, like, if you wanna be a top 10 team, no weeks are easy. So, we kinda just had a little realization in the locker room, got on them a little bit, but, like, I just know what these girls are capable of, and I see them work hard in practice every day, and I don't want them to have a disservice to them of not working hard. So I will say I was also a little concerned in the office. Sitting in between the 2 games, I was like, "This could either go really well or they're gonna dwell on this loss."
Yeah.
And, like, even before the game, we were in the locker room already, like, getting hyped up and listening to music and all hanging out with each other, and I think that's when I saw them doing that. I was like, "Okay, we're gonna be good." So, good bounce back for sure.
I will say I walked out before the Corbin game and watched them warm up. They were just having fun. Like they just let it go. You could just tell, as worried as I was about this match that was coming up. I walked out there and I looked at. I was like, they just let it go. It was awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah, and you already mentioned you guys played 19 of your 20 possible sets over the weekend. And I mean, that's a lot of volleyball. And so this team has seen already so much adversity,
Yes.
right? And what is the kind of testament that you can share about this team in that regards?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of seniors, we have a lot of upperclassmen that have been in these situations before that, I really don't get too worried going into 5th sets because we won almost every set to 15.
Mm.
Like, if you were to break it down into, like, you know, who won to 15, who won to 20, we always almost won those battles, and then we lost it kind of in the red zone between, like, 20 to 20, and we lost it, to 25. So that's definitely something that I think we need to improve on in the long term, but in the short term, obviously, they went out there and I think the mentality was really good. I don't know last year, I didn't feel like we were gonna win a lot of those 5th sets because we put ourselves in tight situations that maybe weren't necessary, but this year, I think they're a little bit more battle tested, and they know what it takes to win, so that was really good to see.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that going to 15, you guys are probably confident once you hit 15 points, and then once you hit 20, the pressure starts to build up there. And like, how do you feel now that since you guys beat that number 3 team, how does that pressure feel after that win?
Yeah, I think there's always a little bit more added pressure when it was like the flip side of last year, right? Where it's like, now there's pressure to win because we lost a bunch of games, but now there's pressure to win because we won a bunch of games. So really, it's like, it's always there, but I think it's more of a fun pressure. It's like you guys put yourself in the situation to be in a conversation of being a top 10 team, which is very challenging. And that's like have that pressure on you. So I think it's more of the conversation of not letting that, hinder us, but like to make us more confident in the gym and to work harder.
Yeah, and to your point, the St. Thomas match, I think you guys had them down like 17-8 in like the third set. I lost, and it just fell apart. And then had a lead late in the next set, and I was like, man, if this goes to 5, I know exactly what's going to happen. Same thing with Corban. I mean, you guys were up 2-1, and then didn't play great in the fourth set, and I was like, this is headed the wrong direction. But kudos to you and your girls. You guys turned it around quickly and got the upset over number 3. I do want to quickly touch on Wilberforce and Harris Stowe. You guys turned around and played 2 more matches on
That was
on
great.
Saturday. But matches like that, I mean, no disrespect to them, but you got into your bench quite a bit. You're able to really evaluate some girls right now that maybe didn't get into those first 4 matches, people that are trying to, get back into the rotation of players that you use and things like that. So even games like that are valuable for you.
Definitely. And I think regardless, like getting people into the match, it gives them experience and it also shows us like, oh, maybe we need to consider different things and things like that. So yeah, it was nice to be able to get everyone in and give them some experience there. And I mean, even against, the teams that we had at the tournament, I felt like we went to our bench a lot as well when we were struggling. So to continue to give people chances, and I always tell them, I'm like, it might be, a certain outside this day, but it might be a different outside the next day, and it really just is gonna take everyone to win certain matches, and sometimes you have an off day, and sometimes you're amazing. So, just making sure that we're staying together as a team and that we don't let the playing time stuff start to affect us, and I think that's been a big conversation as well moving into the rest of the season.
How much do you pay attention to the polls at this point? Not at all. I mean, or do you? Because I wrote it down. It doesn't come out till next Wednesday, and you guys have more volleyball to play. I think. Where do you go this weekend?
We go to Taylor University. Yep,
Taylor.
receiving votes. We play 2 receiving votes teams and then Mount Vernon of Nazarene, which
Okay.
is
Okay.
the number 14.
Oh,
So,
okay.
big weekend still. We got
Yeah,
it.
big weekend back to back before the next poll comes out. Next, I guess it's Wednesday.
I think it's Wednesday, yes.
Cool. All right. Well, we appreciate it.
No problem.
We did better this week
Yeah,
than we did
this
last
week was a lot
so yeah.
better. You're
So yeah, let's take a break and we will come back and wrap things up here on the Spartan Up podcast. Back to wrap things up on the Spartan Up podcast with Jaxon and Mac. I'm Kevin, and Jaxon, we'll start with you. We're starting to get into more sports now besides women's soccer, women's volleyball. What are you most looking forward to in the next week?
As the video to say, I'm already excited for the ambiance that's gonna happen under the lights on September 6th against St. Ambrose. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about some of the things we were trying to pull off last year that are finally coming to fruition. And I am ecstatic to see what's going to happen at 7 p.m. that Saturday night.
Awesome. Mac, how about you?
I'm excited for men's soccer to start up. I'm the main contact for men's soccer, and I haven't been able to like officially put in an article yet or post for their Instagram for game day or anything. So I'm just excited to get back into that flow of things. And well, actually not flow because I've never done this before, but
First blow.
it'll be fun. Yeah, I'm just excited to finally get started and be a part of it.
Yeah, you kind of stole mine. I'm not for that reason, but men's soccer getting started. First game of the year. How are they going to come out against Ottawa? And then they also do have a home game on Saturday against Concordia. I think it is that they play on Saturday. So men's soccer getting underway, I think is what I'm really looking forward to. So. That's going to wrap it up for the Spartan Up podcast for Jaxon Bast and Mac Miller. I'm Kevin Paulus, and join us next week right here on the Spartan Up podcast.